When we grow up, we see our very first teachers, which are our parents. They're our first teachers. Before you go to school, before you watch any movies, your teachers are your parents, and they teach you from their actions, they teach you from who they are being, and in that moment, as you start to grow up, there are two things that normally happen. Either you repeat or you rebel. You repeat who they were being. So if your parents were a drug addict and you repeat those actions, then you end up being a drug addict. Or you go, fuck that, I will never settle for that type of standard in my life, and you do the exact opposite. What this video is about is becoming aware of how your actions are aligned with what you saw growing up, either from your parents or who was the one who was raising you as a kid. You'll notice that I've seen a lot of the times when people have kids, right? They will raise their child, and I'm not here to say how to raise your child. I'm just here to point out, if you have a child, I'm just here to point out a pattern that I see. They will raise their child the same way that they were raised, right? And that's amazing, but it's a bit of a challenge if the way that you were raised wasn't effective to your highest potential for growth. So it's very important to realize that who you are being, a very big impact on that was your parents, especially if you were repeating the same things that they were doing. And once you become aware of how you were showing up and how it was repeated from what your parents were doing, then you can change. So my question to you is, how are you like your parents? Or how are you like that person who raised you? And is that pattern effective to your life? And once you can create some understanding around the pattern that you are running from you just modeling exactly what your parents were doing, it's very easy to change because you realize it's not you. The true you, the highest self, isn't that. The conditioned mind was a byproduct. Who you were being, the conditioned mind, was a byproduct of what you saw growing up, what you heard growing up, and what you experienced growing up, mainly from your parents. Because from 0 to 10, your mind is so fragile. It's just a sponge, just absorbing everything that it's seeing, everything that it's hearing, everything that it's experiencing. And then a big part of your subconscious mind was created during those 0 to 7 years, mainly from your parents. So just realize that a lot of the things that you were doing was from modeling and repeating exactly what your parents were doing, how they were acting. You'll see that somebody who is unhealthy, it's very unlikely that their parents were really healthy and then they rebelled against that. They will match that. They will repeat those habits, especially if it's effective to their life. So create some understanding around your habits and realize that it is a conditioned mind, mainly from what you saw growing up from your parents or your caregiver. And then from that awareness, then create a new choice. What do you choose to believe now? How do you choose to show up now? What habits do you choose to create for yourself? And what rituals do you choose to create for yourself every single day so you break out of that conditioned mind? So you unlearn what you learned growing up and then create a new pattern. So I really hope that this video helped you out. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And until I see you guys in the next video, remember to love all living things. And most importantly, love thyself.